everyone, and welcome to Walk On's live stream. My name is Mary Rachel Taylor, and I am the Executive Director here at Walk On. I am going to give everyone just a few minutes to join before we get started. So I'll do a little bit of housekeeping. This is a new platform for us. We're trying a new thing with doing the live streaming. You guys can comment. If you have a YouTube account, you can comment in the live stream. Please just keep it fun. I don't want to have to ban anyone. That would not be fun. You can use this feature to ask questions as well. We are going to do a Q&A at the end. Please hold your questions until then, because I may not be able to see them as we go through in the live stream. It may come too fast. I don't know. Depends on how much you guys comment. But I will say that there is a 10-second delay. So what that means is that what I'm saying right now, it takes 10 seconds to get to you. So if you do comment, it may seem like it is taking me a long time to answer you. It's not because I'm ignoring you. It's just because it takes a few seconds for me to see any of the comments. All right. The other thing I want you to know is that if you do comment, I have the ability to throw those comments up on your screen. Where it says like welcome to Walk On's live stream on here, I will be able to actually put your comments up there. So when we do the Q&A at the end, everybody can see the question. And so again, I ask you that you'll hold those questions till the Q&A time, but feel free to comment throughout this. And I will go over these again when we get to that section, just so you know. So it looks like we've given everybody a few minutes to join. I'm sure that we will have more people join us as we go on. This is also, it is being recorded, and it will be available on our YouTube later. So just even if you aren't catching this live, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get started. I want to give a brief intro into Walk On for those of you who may not be familiar with us. We are an equine-assisted activities facility that's located in Barrington, Illinois. We do horseback riding, carriage driving, and groundwork programs for children and adults with disabilities. We work with children as young as 3, and we have no upper age limit for our adults. We do have a senior program. We work with people who often live in senior living facilities, especially adults with Alzheimer's and dementia. We have a very robust volunteer program, and our volunteers are a huge and important part of our work as well. All right. So the first thing that I want to show you is we did a video a couple years ago with a grant from the Barrington Area Community Foundation, and World Touch Productions put that together. It has a really, really good intro into the kind of work that Walk On does. So I do want to note that I know that the quality of video on live stream often isn't great. And that we do have a lot of these videos that I'm going to be showing you uploaded to our YouTube. So if you wanted to go back and watch them at a higher quality later, they are on our YouTube, so you can find them there. But without further ado, let's start with Walking On 10 Years of Miracles.
I first realized we had Parkinson's was, about 9 years ago? Yeah. Well, we got a disease, Parkinson's. What do you do about it?
It's my personal feeling that anyone with a disability should not be allowed to just sit at home and watch television. They need to be out there. It should be something that engages them. When I first told him about Walk On, he was walking in with a Parkinson's walker. Now, a lot of times he'll just use his cane. I mean, he has a tremor from the Parkinson's, and he has to learn how to control the reins. Well, the tremor then becomes part of that, because, I mean, he can't be doing all this tremming and still direct a horse. It's universal. It touches almost every part of his disability.
It's being able to sequence, to follow directions, to pay attention, to scan and look in the environment. It's balance, strength, coordination. That's to keep her walking.
I mean, I don't like MS, but I have it, and I have to deal with it and face it. My abilities to walk were diminishing, and that's not good. But then after I started coming here, I was able to work on walking, because on the horse walks kind of like you do, and you get that same feeling. And it helps me a lot with big walking, because it's a big part of living, walking. So.
It's things like that that maybe are not big or flashy or that you would think of as miracles.
It's one to actually get better, really, rather than just in my mind.
It improves his posture. It improves his upper body strength. It also gives him a perspective that's different than just being on himself.
It's a very good type of therapy to relax and learn all the things you can do and stop thinking about things you can't do.
When he's on the carriage with Mary keeps him engaged. She keeps talking to him. So now you're talking about multitasking. He's steering a horse, I mean like a 2,000-pound animal, and he's making sure it doesn't crash into walls. It's just given him so much confidence that he didn't have before.
To have this huge, amazing, majestic animal, just see them for who they are, it's a really powerful feeling.
I am right now training to become an instructor just because I couldn't see the tangible purpose to a lot of the rest of my life. Here, I could see why what I did was important. I could make our participants smile. I could form a bond and a partnership with them. What I was doing had a bigger purpose than just like how high of a fence can my horse and I jump over. The meaningful, profound things that fill our days when we're here.
I think it's really good to find new volunteers that we can become friends with and share the same passion.
I do my best to spend as much time here as I can.
She suddenly had somewhere that she felt a connection to the horses, a connection to the staff. She felt empowered. Now she's a leader. She tells volunteers how to do things.
We're all working towards this one goal, contributing to the happiness of this person, the reason that we're here.
When Taco carries a rider who is otherwise in a wheelchair, he walks so carefully. He takes his job so seriously, and he fully understands kind of like the weight of what he's doing.
These horses people have seizures on them, and they know that they need to stand perfectly still. They know what their job is.
You know why this works is because the staff at this barn cares for those horses with the utmost love and attention, and because of that, those horses can care for each and every child and adult that gets on their back.
You're going to see it reflected back at you. If you're going through something at school, you're going through something at work, you're frustrated that you're not able to do something, all of that is going to be mirrored in your interactions with the horses, and you're going to be able to work through that in a productive and safe environment.
For a parent that has a child in a wheelchair that's nonverbal, life has changed because we found something that she likes and that they treat us like family.
It gives them a quality of life too. It's not just therapy.
She was laughing and smiling, and I didn't think something like this program existed for kids like our Lily.
When a participant, especially a child, is in the arena and the horse sees them for who they are, that might be the first time in a long time that they can completely be themselves. And then they get comfortable with who they are, and they begin to take that everywhere else in their life.
It's not just therapy. It's a chance to make friends. It's a chance to, get a favorite horse, make a connection with them. It's a chance for them to spend time doing an activity that they love with people that they love.
Walk-on's been great for him. I mean, he's not stopping as far as I'm concerned. He's just not going to stop.
This year we're celebrating 10 years of miracles at Walk On. We love to tell stories here at Walk On. I think some of you are probably familiar with that. And we're going to be telling a lot of stories today about our horses and our participants and our volunteers. I am joined via video with several of our staff, with Mary Illing and Melinda Patterson, and with one of our very special participants as well has sent in video. With the coronavirus, it's not exactly safe for us to be all in one place, so we're doing it with video, but I'm really happy to be sharing it with you. Let's go to Mary right now with a story about Rocky, aka Rockstar, and his connection with a couple of our participants.
Hi, I'm Mary Illing. I'm the program director here at Walk On. And if you know me or if you've heard me talk, I always talk about the stories about the animals. Today I'm going to pick out a couple horses. They're in the middle of lunch, and if we attempt to disrupt them, they'll be kind of sad. So this is Rocky. Those of you who know him know that we call him Rockstar. He prefers it because that means he's doing a great job. And I wanted to tell a couple stories about Rocky and students that have ridden Rocky. So we have a young man who was about 12 or 13 at the time. He'd been riding with us for 2 or 3 years at this time that this story happened. And he needed a leader, and the sidewalk or a person walking next to him would tap his hand or help him to pull the reins when it was time to turn and guide and stop and steer. And we've been doing that for couple years. And sometimes it appeared that he understood us and sometimes he didn't, but he always loved to be on. This is Little. And one day, he kind of clicked, and he looked around, and he was holding the very end of his reins, and he reached down, and he pulled all the way down, and pulled his left rein to make a circle to the left when he was asked to. And from that day on, he would hold just the buckle of the reins, and when he was asked to stop, he'd shorten his reins and pull back, or he'd shorten the right rein to pull right, and the left one. While it's not a traditional way to hold your reins and guide, it certainly worked for him. So we were so pleased and happy about his progress. And then one day his mom said, I don't think you understand. The day he learned to guide his horse, from that day on he gets his book bag ready for school the night before. So learning how to be more independent in doing things with his horse and guiding his horse helped him figure out that he could do things in his life that he didn't know he could. Rocky is also a special guy. Oh, Rocky's leaving. So we'll just hang out here with Little. So Rocky, we do a group we call Meet and Greet, where senior citizens come and they groom and they tack, they groom and they feed them. And Rocky had a special friend named Frank. And when Frank came, he would laugh with us and tell us jokes, and Rocky would rush to the ramp to see his good friend Frank. And the people who brought Frank told us the story that Frank at the center does not interact with anyone. He closes his door. He doesn't want anyone in. He doesn't want anybody to be hanging out. He doesn't attend activities. He has his meals in his room. So one day, Frank wanted to have one of our Breyer horses that looked like Rocky. And so I told him that if he was going to have that Breyer horse, he would need to draw me a picture and go to the art room and draw a picture of Rocky for me to get that Breyer horse. But he had to let him take the horse home that day. And sure enough, the next week he came back with a picture of Rocky. It was really a nice picture. The next week he came back with another picture. The week after he came back with another picture. But not only did he now start going to art class, he started going to exercise class. He would bring people into his room to show him his prized possession of the statue that looked like his horse. So Rocky, even though all he was getting was carrots and love and affection and pets, changed this man's life from someone who didn't want to interact to someone who went to activities and did interact all the time. And what a great gift. Sadly, we lost Frank a while ago, but we know that one day they'll be reunited. So the last story I have about Rocky, Little's hogging the space, is the story of a gentleman who drives with us. And when I drive Rocky, so with the carriage, we harness him up. It's Rocky's favorite thing in the world is to be driven by harness. But when I harness him up, I have to use nice loud commands to say, Rocky, trot, Rocky, turn. You know, I have to really use loud commands. But this young man whispers, Rocky, trot. And off Rocky goes. Rocky just loves to have teenage boys hanging out with him, probably because he likes to behave like a teenage boy his whole time. So those are the stories of Rocky. We're going to go over and see Taco in a second.
We are going to go see Taco here in a second, but first I have something else to show you. Thank you, Mary, for doing that. Rocky is such a special horse. They're all special horses, but Rocky, let's just say he has a cult following. I think that's a good way to put it. I do want to mention the way that the videos is cropped. I had to make it fit in the screen to fit YouTube, and I figured it was more important to show the horses. So this is a little bit of an apology to Mary for cutting off her face in some of the videos. But I mean, we all know what we're here for. And I'm sorry, Mary, but it's not your face, it's the horses. Now we do have a treat. One of our, I don't want to say favorite because obviously we do not have favorite participants, but from a very special participant family that's been a part of the Walk On family for a really long time. And they sent in a video to talk to you all. So I want to share that with you guys.
Hello, Walk On community from the Smileys. We just want to say thank you, don't we, Olivia? Thank you. Thank you. We're just talking about all the things we're grateful for. This Thanksgiving, and Walk On is on our list, isn't it? Yes, it is. We have over a decade of memories, and that's something that's really helped us through these trying times, and memories of the beautiful, gentle horses and Miss Mary's caring instruction and all of the generous volunteers. And we can't wait for you to be able to open your doors again in 2021. And thank you so much for everything you've done for us and Olivia, and keep up the great work. We miss you.
Thank you to the Smiley family for sending us that wonderful video. I will admit that the first time I watched it, it made me cry. I'm going to be candid with you guys a little bit here for a second. It's been pretty rough on us here at Walk On without having participants, just from an emotional standpoint. We don't have our participants right now because of COVID-19, and a lot of our participants are especially vulnerable. Our participants are the reason that we do this work and why we love it so much. The staff and our volunteers all miss seeing our participants so much, and we are anticipating and really excited about being able to get back to lessons once we can. We do have plans. We have a plan to start back hopefully sometime in early 2021 when COVID-19 is back under control, and hopefully when we have a more readily available vaccine. To our participants, we love you and we miss you so much, and we cannot wait to see all of your beautiful faces again. And to that end, I am going to let Melinda take it from here with an update on what our horses have been up to in the meantime.
Hi everyone, I wanted to give you an update on our horses and introduce you to a new friend that we have here at Walk On. This is Fred, he's our newest horse. He came to us a day before we shut down, so a lot of people haven't met him. He's leaving now, but we're just gonna let that happen. So our horses are doing really well. We've had a lot of time to focus on them, on their health, and on their training. So since our volunteers have been back, we've been having everyone shower them with gloves, spending a lot of time grooming the horses and just giving them the attention that they crave. We have also started retraining how our horses are led, so our volunteers have been helping us with that. They we're basically teaching our horses to be led in a way that asks our horses to take a little more responsibility for themselves. So it involves less pulling on the lead and more asking the horses to come with us as we walk on. It's going really well. The horses are enjoying it a lot. We've been doing a lot of pattern work on the ground with them, and it's been asking them to engage their brains, and they've been having a lot of fun with it. So yeah, good things are happening here at the farm even without lessons, and we're excited to have our volunteers back. So that's how our horses are doing.
Thank you, Melinda. I want to give a shout out to our staff who have worked tirelessly this past year to keep our horses cared for and trained and ready to go when we're able to start lessons again. I know it's been stop and start, thinking we're going to be able to start again and then having to postpone. That hasn't been easy. And I want you to know that your work is appreciated by me, by all of the other staff, by the board, by the volunteers, by everyone. So thank you so much for all of your hard work. And we're going to go back to Melinda again because she has a couple of stories to tell about her experience teaching with a couple of our horses. So first off, we're going to go over to Star.
So one of my students, Sarah, when she first started riding with us, was not very engaged. She was pretty shut down. She just did not act interested in engaging with her horse. She wouldn't hold her reins. She wouldn't play any of our games with us. And so the whole lesson was pretty much just her sitting on the horse. But several months into her riding with us, we switched her horse that she rode to Mr. Star here. And as soon as we did that, Sarah was immediately more willing to engage with the lesson, engage with horseback riding. She started picking up her reins, she started laughing, would shake her volunteers' hands at the end of her lesson, was just far more willing to be an active participant in her riding lesson and like any activities that we were doing. So Mr. Starr to thank for that, because he was the reason that Sarah perked up and decided that maybe this was something that would be fun for her to do. I had a student who would ride Lucky every week. He was her special boy. And at the end of pretty much every lesson, she would get off of him, and then she would take his reins away from me, and she would kind of shoo me away. And she would take Lucky for a walk around the arena so she could tell him all of the secrets that I was not supposed to be there to hear.
I want to take this minute to talk about Lucky. Lucky has been one of the most beloved horses at Walk On for years, and I am sorry to have to say that his time with us is ending. He's not been well for some time, and after consulting with the vets and the staff for a long time, this has been going on for months, and it's finally been decided that it is time to help him cross the Rainbow Bridge. That will be happening this coming week. He is very loved, and we want him to be surrounded with love and not be any pain, and we are going to miss him an enormous amount. And he's going to leave a very big hole in our Walk On family, and we're just going to miss him a lot. I've had several people ask what they can do, and the most honest answer that I can give is that we do have a horse care fund, and that if anyone would like to donate in Lucky's name, you can go to walkonfarm.org/donate or text donate to the number at the bottom that keeps scrolling across the bottom of the screen down there. I don't want to sound crass or like I'm trying to get donations off of this, but several people had asked because we've been letting all of our volunteers and participants know about Lucky. And so I wanted to let you know, Lucky is such an important part of Walk On. And thank you to everyone who has reached out. Lucky has been a friend to us all. I wish I could give all of you a hug, but we will have to save that for when it's a little less dangerous. And on a lighter note, I don't know how to do that transition, but next up, we're going to do the wine pull. So let's pull some wine. That's a horrible transition. But I'm going to show you guys how this works. So what I have is everybody who has entered for the wine pull. I have your name in this right here. And then I also have, in this little container, I have a bunch of corks that have numbers on them. And all of the wine, I have it, it's literally sitting right here next to me. And they all have numbers on the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick your name out of this bucket, and then I'm going to pick an associated cork. And that is the wine or champagne that you are going to get. I do want you guys to know that if you have not purchased a wine pull ticket and you would like to do so, you would still like to participate in the wine pull, you can do that right now by commenting in the live chat. Just say your name and wine pull in the live chat, and it will be on the honor system that after this is over, you will go to our website and just purchase one of the wine pull options. But you can still get in on it if you want to do that. So without further ado, let's get started. Let me shake this up really good. Sorry for the noise. All right. So I will let you know that all of our wines are at least worth $20 or more, but we do have a champagne in here that is worth $280. So whoever wins that, congratulations. So the first name that I picked is Yvonne. And Yvonne, let's see what wine you get. All right, I picked number 15. So let's see here. Number 15 is a Chardonnay. Yvonne, we will be in touch with you on how you can pick this up. Let's see, next. Heidi. Heidi, I just pulled your name. Let's see what wine you get. All right. Number 2. Okay, number 2 is a Côte de Roses. I love this bottle. It's so pretty. So what I am doing is just writing the numbers that I pulled on these so that we know who belongs to who. So that's why there's a little bit of dead air right now. Okay, next up, we've got Janet. Okay, Janet, let's see. And I know there are some people who got more than one wine in the wine pool, so your name is in here more than once. Number 11. All right, number 11 it is a Chardonnay. So congratulations, Janet. That clanking is really loud. I'm sorry. Okay, next up, Claudia. Let's pick here. That is number 6. And number 6 is a Pinot Noir. Congratulations. I promise this won't take too long, guys. But this may be what you're here for. I'm not sure. I know some of you definitely are. All right, next we've got Yvonne, your next one. I'm not cheating. I'm not looking, I promise. All right, number 13. 13 is another Chardonnay. I believe that, Yvonne, you got 2 Chardonnays. So if you want something that's a different color, you can get in touch with me. It's not exactly in the spirit of the wine, but we do have a few extra. So I could afford to give you something red if you're looking for it. All right. Next, I have Jan. Jan, let's see which one you're getting. Number 3. That is a Cabernet Sauvignon. Congratulations, Jan. All right. Next is Stephanie. Let's see what number you're getting, Stephanie. All right, you got number 4. So number 4 is a Chardonnay as well. We've got a bunch of Chardonnays this year. People are just very into white wine, I guess. So that's number 4. All right, just a couple more. Let's see where we're going. All right, so Stephanie again. All right, number 10. And number 10 is, well, where is it? Stephanie, you won the expensive champagne, so the $280 champagne. So congratulations to Stephanie. All right, we've got one more for now, and that goes for Jan. All right, and Jan, number 20. And that's our last one for now, and that is, I actually have no idea what this is. It is in Italian. It is a dry red wine, it says. That's what of the Italian that I can read. But this is what the label looks like. I don't know if you can see it. The light in here doesn't necessarily help. But let me see here. If we do still have some wine left over, and if you would like to run the chance of the draw at one of the wines that are left in our wine pool, we have about 10 more wines left. You can still purchase that online, and I can FaceTime you while we do the poll so that you can see that I'm not cheating and just giving you something random if that's what you'd like. But that is still available on our website at walkonfarm.org/market. So without further ado, that is the wine poll. All right, so I hope that everybody is happy with their results. And again, if you're not, just, shoot me an email or give me a call and we can talk about it. We were going to do the raffle poll right now, but we actually postponed the raffle poll until Monday, December 14th. So there is time to still get tickets. If you would like to participate in the raffle, first prize is $500, second prize is $250. You can buy tickets on our website. You can do that at the walkonfarm.org/market as well. So now we are going to go over to, let me flash this up. Raffle tickets are still available, and if you want to type in the whole URL, this is the URL to do so. I know that it's really long. The easiest way to do it is to go to walkonfarm.org/market, and it's all in the market there. But we're going to go back over to Mary, and she is going to be over, like she said, go over to Taco, and we're going to talk about Taco a little bit.
This is Taco back here. Taco's a little dirty. He was busy rolling in the sand today, but he's enjoying his lunch. Taco is a very special horse. He came to us as a 4-year-old, and that's really rare that a horse that young will work and do this work, but it's what he was born to do. He's an extra special horse with this, and his specialty is people who need a lot of help, people who have to, like, he needs 2 sidewalkers to hold on, someone whose balance is really bad, a leader. That's his specialty. And we had a little girl who came to us at the age of 4, and the doctors had all told her parents that she would never walk. She had her disability was called cerebral palsy, and it meant that her muscles didn't work as well as they should. And the doctor's prognosis is she would use a wheelchair the rest of her life. This little girl was quite determined, and she rode with us for 2 years before we saw progress, but we saw a lot of progress in about 2 years. So she would do things like stand in her stirrups, and she would ride backwards. We'd put her into kneel on her horse. We'd do all kinds of things. And about 2 years in, she started walking with a walker. Something her doctor said couldn't happen. Now, it's not just because of Taco here. She did do other therapy. She did work hard at other things. When she finally, when life changed for her and she had to stop riding with us at Walk On, she walked out with someone holding her hand, not even a walker. So that's kind of an impressive thing, and it's because this horse was so kind and so gentle and tolerated all of the help that this little girl needed around her. Taco, we also had a woman who, we had a hospice center, which means a few months left to live, call us and said that one of the people there wanted to ride as a last wish. And so we said, not a problem. And she came out to ride. And when we met her, closing her right hand was pretty much the last voluntary motion she could do relatively easily. And she rode with us for about 6 months. And the first time, sometimes she would ride for about 30 minutes, sometimes it would be 10 or 15 minutes. And she did learn to kind of move her hand to get him to turn and weave through the cones and do things. We were really just like encouraging her riding skills. And when we would get her off back to her wheelchair, Taco would lay his head in her lap. And sometimes he'd grab her coat and they'd have a little tug of war. Sometimes she brought a carrot and he would get to eat a carrot out of her hand. But most of the time, he just laid with his head there. And amazing things happened. Volunteers were like, did you see that? Did you see that? I said, yes, I did. Because there was something special going on between these two beings who could not speak anymore. One Tuesday morning, I came out to feed the horses, and Taco wouldn't come in. He was out in the paddock, and he just wouldn't come in for breakfast. And when I went up to the house, she had died that night, and he knew. He won the Region 7 2010 Horse of the Year for that story. That was a good one for him. Another story is the story of Esther. Esther is an adult with cerebral palsy, and all 4 limbs of Esther's, she has difficulty moving. And Esther is an amazing soul in this world. She's very, very bold. She tries everything. And Esther came and rode with Taco. Esther and Taco rode, and they walked, and they did weaving and guiding. Ballone's joining the crowd. And while it didn't, it made Esther a little bit, it stretched her muscles, it made her a little bit more comfortable, it made her a little bit stronger. The way it changed her life was to make her happy. When she was on Taco, she was able to move more freely. She was able to enjoy walking through the woods, or the trail. She was able to enjoy being up and moving fluidly, something that she didn't always get to do. So those are my stories.
Thank you, Mary, for sharing. Taco, it's really interesting to watch the different ways that all of our horses interact with the participants and the volunteers, and the way that Taco seems to understand his participants and the way that he needs to act and how careful he should be, how much fun he should be for our participants. He's so intuitive, and we are so blessed to have him as part of our herd here at Walk On. I want to plug now that our silent auction and the holiday market is still ongoing. The silent auction ends at midnight, and all of our vendors end at midnight. So there is still plenty of time. Please go to walkonfarm.org/market, and you can see all of that there. There are still just a couple of things on the silent auction that have no bids at all. I did reduce price this morning for some of them, so you could potentially get an incredible deal. Please go check them out. There are I just want to plug our vendors and what an incredible job they are doing with something that's really hard. So many of them are small business owners this year and rely on in-person markets. And so being able to put their stuff up on our website or putting it on their own website is such a leap of faith. And so I really, really strongly encourage you to go check those out if you have not. Or if you have only looked at them before Wednesday of this week, because we did add a couple of vendors and stuff to the silent auction. That is all I'm going to say about that. I won't bore you anymore, but I do have something special for you before we go. And that is, hang on, let me turn off this banner. In April, Walk On was supposed to hold a dinner theater cabaret with Acts of Kindness Cabaret at McGonagall's Pub here in Barrington. Obviously, that did not happen because of COVID-19, but we are still planning on holding it tentatively scheduled sometime late spring, early summer next year. So as a teaser for it, Acts of Kindness Cabaret has generously let me show you a little teaser for what's coming. So without further ado, here is Acts of Kindness Cabaret.
So with COVID and everybody staying home, I decided that I would start taking some voice lessons online.
That's why you sound so good.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've been learning to play the guitar.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about you, Hillary?
What about you?
Oh, I'm learning to play the zither.
Really?
No.
I finished 6 Pillows in Needlepoint, and I am reading Jane Austen and Kant. And I'm up to the sesame sauce in advanced Chinese cooking.
Dinner at your house.
I don't have to struggle to find myself because I already know what I want. I want to be healthy and wise and extremely good looking.
Oh, done and done, honey. Yeah, exactly.
How about you, Karen? What have you been up to?
So busy, I don't even know where to start. Well, I'm learning new glazes in pottery class, and I'm playing new chords in guitar. And in yoga, I started to master the lotus position.
She's bendy.
I don't have to ponder priorities because I already know what they are. To be good-looking, healthy, and wise, and adored in addition.
Oh, I adore you.
It's very important for me to be liked. Yeah.
Let's see. Well, busy.
Yeah.
I'm improving my serve with the tennis pro, and I'm practicing verb forms in Greek.
Wow.
And in primal scream therapy, all my frustrations are vented. And I don't have to ask what I'm searching for because I already know what I seek. To be good-looking, healthy, and wise, and adored, and contented.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm adding that to my list.
What's happening here?
I've blossomed in organic gardening.
And in dance, I have tightened my thighs.
And in consciousness raising, there's no one around who can top me.
And I'm working all day and I'm working all night to be good looking, healthy, and wise.
And adored and contented and brave and well read.
And a marvelous hostess, fantastic in bed.
And bilingual athletic, bilingual athletic.
I'm working all day and I'm working all night to be good looking, healthy, and wise.
And I'm working all day and I'm working all night to be contented and brave and well read. this host is fantastic, fantastic in bed. And this host is fantastic in bed. And bilingual, athletic, artistic. Won't somebody stop me?
Thank you so much to Acts of Kindness Cabaret for letting us show that. If you are interested in maybe being a part of the cabaret next year, keep your eye on your email, and you can always subscribe via our website. There's a link right at the top where you can subscribe, and then you will be sure to know about the cabaret upcoming. I want to, right before we go, I want to shout out to our volunteers who have been rock steady for us during COVID-19, and so much of what we do here at Walk On relies on volunteers, and they have been so great about coming in, about following all of our restrictions and washing their hands and wearing masks, which in the summer was somewhat difficult. And we just want to say thank you so much to our volunteers. You are the bedrock of what Walk On does, so thank you so much. I do want to plug one more thing. Other than the market and auction, Walk On does have masks. So if you are still in the market, we have masks that have our logo and a horse on them. We have some that have a horseshoe pattern on them in black or green, and we have ones that have just the Walk On logo. Those are $10, and you can purchase them from Walk On or through the website. You can always just get in contact with us, and I can show you exactly where to go. This is how you do so, right here along the bottom. It doesn't look like we have any questions. There's none in the chat. So if you do have a question, I'm going to give you about 15 seconds to throw something in there. Otherwise, we're going to wrap it up. So if you don't want to stick around, thank you so much for joining us today for our first live stream. I think it went pretty good. I almost just died, but other than that, everything seemed to go pretty smoothly. If you would like to share this video or watch it again, because who wouldn't want to watch this again, it will be up on our YouTube channel shortly after this. You could always subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we post another video. You can also find us on all social medias, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram at Walk On Farm. So go find us there. It doesn't look like we have any questions for the Q&A, so I'm going to end it here. As always, if you would like to donate to Walk On, you can do so at walkonfarm.org/donate, or you can text donate to the number that's down here on the scroll. And I will say that number out loud just in case it's hard for you to read. That number is 847-469-9958. And that is Walk On's number. You just have to text donate, and that will get you exactly where you need to go. I hope that you all have a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for joining us for our live stream. We will see you soon. Goodbye.